Hi guys, in this video we are going to see how to calculate the return of investment in the IVR solution. Before moving on, simple request to everyone who are watching this video to subscribe to channel. 92% of viewers are not subscribing to the channel. And if you're coming from the Google search, as always, don't forget to give a super thanks if you find the video useful, and like and subscribe. Okay. So let's jump to the calculation, or the basically the what is the concept of return of investment. Okay, so return of investment, or ROI, which we say in our technical terms, not the technical, in the language, right? So if you are investing 100 rupees or $100, how long or how many years it will take to get that $100 back to your account? Means uh, not through the direct money wise, right? Actually, it is money wise, but basically from the services or the costing that you have, right? How soon that money or that investment that you have done for the improvement, how what are the time period it will take to get the money back? Okay, so over here I have done some simple calculation. Okay, and as we all know that contact center is basically a cost center for a company. There is no actual benefit of having a contact center apart from the services or the customer solutions that we get over here, right? So basically this is a cost center, and if you have the low cost center, it will definitely help you in your profit margin and all this thing. Okay, so what I have done is created a scenario where, let's say, there is a company. Let's name it, read the manual is the company name. Okay, and it gets around 1,000 call in a month. Okay, so fair enough, very small company which receives only 1,000 calls in a month. Okay, and they have decided to invest in a IVR solution which will reduce their percentage or the call volume percentage. Means out of those, 10% calls will be get automated. Okay, so let me remove from here. What is this? Oh yeah, sorry. So 10% call volume has been reduced. So means if there was 1,000 calls, now you are getting 900 calls. Okay. And also there are certain scenarios that I have calculated over here or mentioned over here, so that I will explain, because this is required to understand the return of investment. Okay, so there are some terms which I have used, something like AHT, that is like average handling time. So that's like average time agent is required when it speaks to customer to resolve the issue, right? So some calls can be of, let's say, 60 seconds, 'cause some calls can be of 10 minutes, right? 600 seconds. So what I have done is something like average we have mentioned. This is like one of the best in the industry standard that I have mentioned. Usually AHT stands around 8 to 15 minutes. Okay, so that's the typical AHT that you have, but I have given 5 minutes, which you can see over here. Okay, another thing that I have mentioned is automated IDV. So let's say the solutions include, right? Solution can be a journey, let's say balance information, ticket status. So those can be an IVR self-service journeys, right? But there are additional capabilities that can be included, like a chatbot channel has been introduced, WhatsApp channel has been introduced, some information which was captured in the IVR is passed to the agent. So all this information which helps the customer, or sorry, help the agent to reduce speaking to customer, uh, can be calculated over here. Right now I have given 0. If you give, let's say, 10 call got reflected, right? So it will increase your whole calculation over here. So it's all mapped to this 4 parameter, 1, 2, and few parameters over here, and rest of the calculation goes automatically. Okay, now what exactly the saving is? Saving is basically, let's say if your contact center takes zero point 0.7 cents. Okay, so this I have considered very bare minimum. Usually it can go up to $2. Okay, why I am saying, because for a contact center, right? So let me do a little bit breakdown, right? What are the cost for a call, right? So one is, there is a telecom charge, right? Telecom charge, so they usually charge around zero 0.02, something like that, right? So then there is a what is that, holding a line or port charge, right? So port charge is around 5,000 per port, so it can do the calculation of for the whole year or a particular day. Then there is a recording solution comes into the picture for every minute or every seconds the call is in your contact center, right? There is a recording going on, so there is include of that. So that goes around, let's say, around zero point 0.5 seconds, right? Cents or 5 cents, right? And it comes to around the porting, right? Number of parallel call that also comes into the picture. It comes around $1 or something like that. And then there is other licenses systems are there, right? So this all combination brings the cost to around in the range of zero point 0.7 is the minimum to around $2 per minute. Okay, I'm just writing over here, nothing uh, concurrent over here because it's depend upon what exactly the solution and what solutions are you're using that brings the cost. Okay, ASR license, right? And all those things. So okay, let's not go over there because it's a whole big topic over there to discuss. So on an average, I have said for each minute, your contact center or the company is paying zero point 0.7 or 70 cents per minute. Okay, this is still very reasonable. Okay, what we are saying is each call takes 5 minutes. Okay, and there is an average waiting time. So average waiting time is you means to say that if a call comes from your IVR and before going to the agent, right? So it stays in a queue. So that whole music that you hear, right? So that's the AWT, average waiting time, and I have given two, which is the best in the industry standards. One of the best in the industry standard. If you have a waiting time of less than 2 minutes, means you're doing good in the contact center. Okay. Anyway, let's not divert from the topic, right? What are the additional parameters I have considered? A few parameters that I will quickly mention. So in a day, one agent can works 8 hours, which is for 80 minutes. Average call after call work. So after the call is been handled by the agent, they take some maybe break. They take some notes of the call. They create a ticket or something like that. So for that, I have given 30 seconds, which is still very less, but let's say go with the best of the industry standard which is right now 30 seconds, write the summary of the call, create a ticket and all these things. So that is after call work. Okay, so what I have done is I have created how many agents you required, oh sorry, how many calls a agent can take, and I have considered 90% of utilization considering the break and all this thing in 8 hours. So in a day, agent can handle 78 calls in a day if their average handling time is 5 minutes. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so what is this? The number of calls required to take 1,000 calls, right? So if you divide this by this, sorry, 1,000 by 13, you get, sorry, 1,000 by 78 calls in a day. So you get 13 agents roughly, right? So I have a average out, round up to zero, up, not down, okay? And we have given the agent average salary is around $35,000 per year, okay? So this all calculation is been clear over here. Okay, so now let's move how the saving does, right? So let's say if your contact center is getting 1,000 call in a month, 10% reduction means around 1,000 calls. Out of the 1,000 call, 10 calls got self service, and now only 900 calls remaining in the contact center are going to agent. Okay, now let's come over here. So we have around 13 agents, right? And 1,000 calls were there. 900 calls got deflect, now still going, and 100 calls got auto is resolved or reduction, right? So number of agents reduction is comes to one, right? So now for 900 calls, we required only 12 agents, right? And one agents got saved. So that means in a year, you are saving around $35,000, which is the salary I've mentioned over here. Okay. So this is one scenario of return of investment calculation. Another is HT. How much is your improving in your HT? HT is your handling weight, average handling time, right? So let's say there is a uh, so earlier we considered 2 minutes, so that comes to 120 seconds, and you had 13 contact center agents, right? Which were giving the 120 seconds or 2 minutes as a average waiting time. Now, before the utilization, it was comes around. So this is used to calculate the calculations. Okay, so don't worry about that. So at the end, what you get is reduced AHT time, like 10 seconds less in the contact center, right? So this is what you get over here, which gives you the saving of 590 minutes. Okay, so let's do a little bit change over here. So if I change the average wait time to, let's say, 4 minute, right? So how much it will save? It earlier it was 240 seconds, that is for 4 minute, and it reduced to 220 if we have the 10% reduction, right? And again, how much is the saving is based on all the calculation that we have, like per minute cost, and what are the different costs involved in the telecom. Based on that, the figures we get right over here. Now, how to determine the return of investment? So first of all, we have to understand how much the investment a client has done, right? And based on that, we will calculate what exactly or how many years it will take for a customer to get its return back, right? So that is what we are calculating. So for example, I have given few scenarios over here, like CTI integration, IVR integration, IVR development, chatbot, voice biometric, or other solutions that you can add, you can mention over here. So let's say there is a development cost of $40,000 for the IVR solution. Let's say we are considering, let's say, very simple scenarios of account balance, ticket status, something like that. Those kind of information, right? So which deflects very minimum of the call. So 10% reduction is very minimum anyway in the market. Second is, let's say there you have included something called chatbot, right? So let's say out of 1,900 calls are now deducted by the sales service. Now only 900 calls are getting to the agent. Now let's say you have introduced a new channel, which is a chatbot. So which consume, let's say in the website now it is reducing 50 calls, right? So overall, what you are saving is overall what you get is 850 calls got reduced right over here, and which reduced to further solutions or further output over here, if you can see, right? Did we miss something? No. Okay, so this is like now if I introduce 50 calls are getting deflected over there, you can see it's saving two agents. If I do a zero, it's still one, right? So that's a bigger chunk of solution value over there. Another cost of which we have included is for the client is license costs. So let's say there is a license cost using of these solutions that we have mentioned over here, or let's say usage costs. That can be the same thing, license or usage. So let me play. And let's say there is a support team also included, right? So I've given support cost also. Okay. So for the first year, right, what the calculation or the investment client have to make is a combination or addition of these three, which we get as 59. And for, let's say, chatbot, they have investment this much, right? So for first year, they will get the cost. Now for the second year, right, only the license cost or the usage cost and support cost. So those only gets added. So that we have mentioned over here. Similarly for the third year, fourth year. So based on whatever the support and license cost is there, right? You can mention for n number of years, right? Usually we term for 5 years, and if we get the return by that time or not, right? Now, what are the solution for the return or the calculation for the return investment? So the for the first year, client is investing how much? It's around 1,08,000, right? Dollar. Now, how much the saving? From the very first year, it's saving one agent cost. Okay, and if it does not invest that agent, or does uh, not means does not utilize that reason, right? uh, Sorry, still utilize the agent, there is also reduction of the AHT, right? So that thing I have mentioned over here. So initially they invest this much, and this is the profit they will get, and this is the 60% still negative. So till 5 year also there is a no return. Now let's say there is a scenario, uh, they improve a solution and give a reduction rate of 15%, right? So now 15% of call getting deflected, 850 per calls are now getting. Now what you will see is from the very second year, they are still started getting profit. Means the amount they have invested, uh, from the second year onward, there is a improvement in the cost. Means they are not, the amount they have invested or cost to them, right? So let's say that they have cost $100 and got recovered in the very second year only, right? And from the second year, your contact center cost, let's say it was around $1,000 earlier, and after you investment $100, now your, after from the second year, it is now, it becomes to $950, right? So and the third year again there is less cost involved, and so forth. It reduce the cost for you, right? So again, one more factor that I want to mention over here, like if you include, let's say, chatbot channel, additional channel along from the voice, now you have additional channel as chatbot, let's say WhatsApp channel or website, mobile app, and all this thing you can add over here, and it will further reduce your costing. And what you will see, that if you have investment like this much, from the very first year of investment you will start getting the profit. Okay, this is again based on the assumptions that these are the costs, these are the price, and this is the average handling time, and this is the number of calls. So let's say if you have 10,000 calls in a month, right? So this further reduce, or that further gives the amount quickly. Again, the development cost will be much higher, right? So let's say if it is a $140,000, right? So it will take some time to recover the cost. License cost will be around, let's say, 50K. So it will take time, right? And the chatbot cost is around, let's say, the same price. And license cost is, or usage cost will be something around that, right? And support, let's say, let it be there. So for the first year it's cost you around this one, but you have a saving of seven. Oh, how come? From where the saving came this much? Oh, we are able to reduce the 20 agent because we have increased the number of agent to 129 based on utilization. Okay. So let's bring it back to 10% so that we get much realistic values. So still, if you see over here, if I'm not sure how much the cross will be costing, we have to, for that we have already created videos on resource loading and project estimates, right? That you can see. I'm anyway considering very less amount over here. $140,000 is nothing if you consider the contact center, if they have around 10,000 call volume, right? So let's go back to 1,000 call volume, which is more appropriate for the costing that I have given over here. Okay, and bring it back to 40,000, 30,000. So these are like very, very minimum contact center solutions, which will help. So control D. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is how we can calculate the return of investment. There are for several assumptions has been taken, so do consider that while calculating or using this template. This is uploaded into the GitHub. You can find the link into the description section. And do let me know in comments what are the extra costing we can add to determine the exact or more better appropriate return of investment calculation. Hopefully you like the video. Thank you. Have a nice day.